Hey gang, it's Peg. How's your week been? I've been busy as usual. Had a few projects to finish up here. I went down for Tailored Expressions was that a couple weeks ago? I don't know. This week I went down to Des Moines for some doctor's appointments. So anyway, I was organizing upstairs, and one of the things I was doing was putting away some of this Tailored Expression stuff because I was there recently. And let's see if this is coming up on YouTube. Just double checking here. Yep. Oh, yeah. Can't type right. Hello, hello. So looks like everything's coming up okay. All right. So let's get on with this. Tailored Expressions. Like I said, I've been organizing. One of the things that came in this week were these boxes from IKEA. I like these because they have kind of a linen look to them. They're just kind of simple cardboard box, right? And they fit on my shelf nicely. I've got a little wire shelf over here beside me. And so I was trying to organize these things kind of the way I work. A lot of the companies, their style works together. So like you saw me making cards the other day, I was using these Clearly Crafty stamps from Tailored Expressions, and they belong in here with the rest of the Tailored Expressions stuff. I was going through things. One of the things I like about Tailored Expressions is they have lineup places. So like when you're stenciling, you know where to line these things up and layer. So this needs to be in here with the rest of the Tailored Expression stuff. I also like to use for smaller things. I also like to use these little boxes to put smaller things into so they don't get lost. So those can go in here. But you can see I can fit an awful lot of stuff in one of these little shoebox style containers from IKEA. And they're easy to work with. They're easy to label. I mean, I can put a Tailored Expressions label right there on the end. And that fits on my shelving. So I'm just going to slide that over there on that wire rack. Now, one of the things that Tailored Expressions does that I think is neat is they do these layered stencils. I was playing around with some colors earlier. This is a 3 3/4 by 6 1/4 layered stencil, and it's got the leaves and it's got the berries to do this sort of thing. This is very inexpensive. I don't know, $5, $6 for a set like this. And I was trying out the different inks to see what I liked the best to do this with. This is Tailored Expressions Cherry Pop, Hero Arts Mid-Tone Tomato, Catherine Pooler Rouge, Tailored Expressions Cilantro, and Tailored Expressions Pea Pod. So last week I was telling you about the differences in these ink pads and why I prefer some over others. But, keep an extra piece of paper around so that when you're doing this sort of thing, you can just take your tool and clean it off easily, because you can switch between colors that way and you're not transferring color back and forth. But so this is going to go into my Tailored Expressions box too. This Tailored Expressions is what they call a quad layering stencil, and it's so that you can do a large piece. This is for an 8 by 10 or 10.5 inch piece, and there's 4 different stencils in this grouping. So you can see what they want you to do, and they're telling you, start with 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the first one is this leafy looking stencil, which is this one. And I'm going to start with my lightest green on this. And you can see it's got the same little notch there so that you can line your stencils up and put them where they belong. And I'm going to use some tape just to hold that down with. Don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to do a quick stenciling for you so you can see what this looks like. I'm going to start with that pea pod. Actually, I might start even lighter than that. I've got a couple of these. This is Lime Ricky from Catherine Pooler. Let's see what this looks like. I might change my mind. Where's my little pad here to try it out? Yeah, that's a real bright limey green. So I think I'm going to start with that one. I've got a couple of different tools here to put my ink pad onto so that it doesn't scoot all over my table. And I talked about that in previous videos also, but I'm just going to start by adding that Lime Ricky. All over this stencil. This one wants to move a little bit still. I need to get it down to 1. And I'm just getting my initial color on. Catherine Pooler, starting out with here. Gonna put that square up there so that I can line this up. And I come back to it. And this is a quick, easy way to create some background paper. And, you know, you don't have to do it in these bright greens. You could add those, what do you call them? They're kind of like blue spruce colors. Okay, first color down. I'm going to go back to my clean off paper, wherever I put that. And I'm just going to clean that color out of my brush. Then I want to, and I'm going to take a baby wipe and clean these stencils off later. These are water-based inks. So they're going to wipe off pretty well. Well, actually, I can show you how that works. Throw this aside and get a baby wipe. One of these that I've been using here. I'm just going to wipe this off. Now, you want to go kind of the direction of the stencil so that you're not, you know, lifting up those little pieces. Or you can just take it over and run it under some warm soapy water. But you see, I can clean this green off of here with just a baby wipe. And this is probably going to be the most delicate of the four because it's got all of those little nooks and crannies on there. So, okay, that's enough of that. Next stencil up is number 2, which is this one, which adds some dimension to those leaves that we just created. So I can see my lineup holes, and you can see this side is offset from this side. So you're going to line this up just like this, best you can. And I'm going to come back with that tape. And this time I'm going to use the cilantro, which is a little bit darker. Let's see how quickly this goes. So we've got our 2 greens. Now I'm going to switch to the 3rd stencil, cleaning my brush out. And if you look at the packaging, stencil number 3 is this dot looking stencil. So I'm going to pull this one up. Just get the majority of that ink off. Take a dry one. And we are ready for the next stencil. So now I've got this much done. I want the dot stencil. We're going to line it up once again with our marks. No, that doesn't line up there. There we go. Now we're lining up with the marks. And for this, let's go back to our sample here. For this, I think I want to use the Catherine Pooler. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the Catherine Pooler Rouge. So you can see how quickly this goes with the layering. You've probably all got some kind of red and green holiday ink, right? I'm an ink girl. I love my inks. So I'm loading it up with lots of that bright Catherine Pooler rouge. And this is a quick, easy way. Now you could stencil this in paint. You could stencil it with spray. You could stencil it just about any products that you have. I'm just, I'm an ink girl. So first thing I grab is my ink. So that was stencil number 3 with Catherine Pooler rouge. And next I'm going to do Cherry Pop from Tailored Expressions and the new stencil. So you can see it's creating different segments on here. Let's get this. Now you could use this individually too, the stencil. You wouldn't have to. I like the little dots. You could use this on any thing for a background. It wouldn't have to be berries. It could just be dots in the sky. Okay, the last one. Is the 4th stencil. And let's see where this goes. Line it back up. Nope. 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 What did I do wrong? Doesn't go that way. There we go. Nope, it's still not lining up right. Well, isn't that something? This one, it's lining up on it's got to go like this. Got to go like that. Okay, now we're looking right. So I'm just going to tape that down. And I want the darkest red, which is the Cherry Pop from Tailored Expressions. And this is putting a highlight on those berries, which I think is pretty cool. And you could come back with a pen or whatever you want on top of this and, detail it out. If you like to have that illustrated look, add some pen work in here. But see how we've created lots of layers with our stenciling without too much effort. ink sitting on top of that. Clean out my brush. Put the lid back on my ink to keep it fresh. And let's take a look at this. How pretty is that? So I'm just going to wipe some of that excess ink off of the stencil. And like I said, soap and water is good. Some of it will just be natural staining from the ink. Don't worry about it, it's a stencil. But I'm going to make sure and store those 4 layering stencils together. Just like this. And put them in my Tailored Expressions box so that I can use them again in the future. Because this too will fit in the box. You can put it in the bottom, you can put it on the top. Doesn't matter. So when you open up the box, it's all going to be together. And you'll be ready to work. Trying to get that flap of paper to go where I want it to go. Anyway, you guys get the idea. So here's my and you can do the same sort of thing with the smaller one. You don't have to have the great big one. This is the smaller layered one, and this one is TESN 89-1 and 2 mini slim stencil. So these are this one was made for a Slimline card, but you know, could be on a bookmark, could be something you're making for somebody for the holiday. Very similar style. And here's my box with Tailored Expressions. The stencil can go in here with the other ones. This one, like I said, could go on the top or the bottom because it's going to fit in my box. I can put the lid back on it and put it on the shelf with all the other Tailored Expressions stuff. Okay, so now that I've got that much done, I'm going to take a cutter. I've got my tonic cutter here. And half of the page is 5.5. So if I cut this at 5.5, that's not going to be right. So let's look at the 4 1/4 mark. Yeah, I think that's where they want you to cut it, is at that 4 1/4 mark for a card front. So the 5.5 is going to go this way on this particular image. And then you're going to cut it at the 4 1/4 going this way. So, and then you're probably going to mat this. So you'll take it down to 4 inches and take that little edge that has the registration mark off. And then this is going to cut it at 5 1/4. So that there's a really cool background. Let me see. Do I have a card here? This one is, it's a little shy. Let's see. 4. I need to get my arm out. This just fits in here. To get my extension, because I want to cut this card to, let's see, this is an 11-inch piece. I want to make it 5. Let's see. If I'm folding it in half this way, I want this at 4 1/4 by 10. That'll make a standard size card. Try to line that up. Get my bone folder. Okay. I didn't measure that right. What did I do wrong? 10. Oh, because it's supposed to be 5 1/2. Duh. Okay. No problem. We'll just take a white card. See if my brain was attached. So there's our background. This too can be a background, but we need to trim it out. And then these pieces need to be trimmed out. So you see how many pieces you can get out of this. I can still extend the bottom of that other card. Let's see. If I cut this, at 4 1/4 once again, which is your 1/4 of a page. So then I'm going to take this down to 4 inches for layering. And then this is 5 1/2, and I want to take it down to 5 1/4. For layering. Then we've got these two pieces, and this measures 4 1/4, so I want to take that 1/4 inch off. Trim there. This one is going to take a smidge. Actually, I think I want to take both of those off of that edge because it seems to have a little bit more on that edge. So you can put a sentiment right across the middle of that. And make a really cute card. So what have I got here? This was some stuff I was you see, I'm getting into the seasonal stuff here. This was some stuff I was die cutting earlier. So yeah, see, that's the same size. So this is your standard layer. Do I have a bigger one? Let's see. Yeah, there's the red. So I can layer on there and put a sentiment across the middle. So you can see how these cards are going to come together quickly. This one needs trimming because it's still got that little registration mark there. So there's those pieces. And these are Tailored Expressions dies too. Aren't these cute? Look at this little ghost and rest in peace. You can even take the little bitty bat or the smiley piece out of the pumpkin here. So yeah, I was thinking about holiday stuff. Getting on with it. Well, as I was thinking about holiday stuff, I thought, well, I need to put a project bin together so that as I work through things, I've got it all together. So here is a holiday project bin. And you can see I've started putting things in here that will work together. I've got die cut pieces in the red, green, and white that can be layered up. I've got the joy. I've got my poinsettia. That can be layered on a card front like that. So these are die cut things that I've thrown in here. I've also pulled some ribbon in gold and green, some dimensional adhesive to pop things up on the projects. I've got some distress pine needle ink to do the edges of things with. And then, one of the things that I like to do when I go down to the Des Moines area is stop in some of the local Iowa haunts, if you want to call it that. Memory Bound is a store that is in Ankeny, Iowa, just north of Des Moines. And one of the companies that I like that they carry is this 49th and Market. And so 49th and Market has stuff that coordinates together. This is a grouping of holiday washi that works with some of the other ephemera here. And when you get this box, it comes with this really cool trimmer. So you can take your piece here and slide this trimmer in place. Let's see if I can get it in there. It clips down over the edge of the box, and I might have to tear that all the way off to get it on there. I wanted it good and tight, so I left it there just to make it a little bit sturdier. That may give me a little bit of grief getting on. Okay, so there's my cutter. There's my cutter. Now you notice that in this box that has these 3 different washi, there's also room for another one. And I picked up this 49th and Market Art Options postage stamp washi tape because I thought, well, this goes really well with what we're doing here. So you can see there are all these really cool postage stamp washi tape. So that will fit right in here. These will fit over the edge for cutting. So then all you have to do is slide your cutter over and cut your washi tape off. And that's all in one package. Along with that, there's all of these. This is more tape for adhering things. There are all these things that coordinate together. And what I like to do is to get a packet like this that's going to work together for the holidays. And, pull some other things from my, here's some cardinals that are pre-die cut from Impression Obsession. This is their paper pack, which you can get in both large and small. And then you can cut this paper pack down. And the cool thing about the paper pack is even the back side of the collection here. Let me pull this out and show you. Even the back side of this has prints on it. So it's double-sided and has lots of things that you can cut out and use in your journals, in your card making. Save the strips because these are going to layer up. And then because this is, what is this? This is 8 by 6 by 8. So if you cut this at 4 inches, you've got 2 packs of card that you can layer to make your holiday. And then, pick up a couple of packages. So here's a card. Here's some of that paper for layering. Here's some of the ephemera, so that you can take some of these other pieces and just quickly layer up some of these pieces and create some holiday goodness. So that's what I'm working on right now, is organizing things for work so that my workflow is good, and for how they coordinate together. I've got simple strips for the holidays. These are another tailored expressions. So I can pull this out, and I've already got stamped pieces. This says celebrate the season, so I can use some of these pre-stamped pieces. That's one piece there. And, layer it up with some of these other things that I've got going on here. And real quick, easy card assembly. Hey, Minka, hi. Okay, have a great dinner. I will talk to you later. I'm going to head out too. I've got other things to do, and I just wanted to do a quick Sunday snippet, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.